Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, back at it again with another set of D&D stories. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit more somber. The last words of one of your characters. I never figured the sunlight was so warm. I hate it. Make sure they bury me ass up so everyone can kiss it. Uh-oh. One last rebellion, that's all I needed. I hope my own judgment is as true as the ones I delivered. Crimson King of Rebellion and Judgment. Quick, burn me in the flak catcher's boilers. I'll sail these seven skies with her even as I die. Ha-ha! Whoops. I've always wondered if an executed man feels his head hit the ground. Go ahead. No, I'm fine, Mom. Just feel a little cold. Before being infected by a bone worm. Ah, shit! That was from Gerald. Is this really how I die? Hope they'll make it sound better in the songs. This is from the Morning Bird as he lied bleeding to death after defeating several opponents during the attempted coup d'etat. He died because he didn't take the fight seriously and was eventually worn down by his many opponents. Doesn't deserve a better song if he's not taking it seriously. But now, there's nothing left. No more grudges, no more jobs, no more ideals to control, no more reasons for revenge. All I'm left with now is this void. But it's not a cold one. It's warm, like a blanket hugging the soul, a sense of fulfillment that your duty is over. That even if you don't live to see the result of your sacrifice, others after you will be able to prosper because of it. It's an odd little feeling. I think it's called peace. A life of service for a moment of peace. High Marshal Balthazar Thatch, considered one of the greatest military commanders in the history of the Anthropian continent. After 64 years of life, 62 of these in service to the empires of the human race and its emperors. As a gesture of honor, he was buried without his iconic mask so that in the afterlife, as proof of his bravery and loyalty, he could simply show his scarred face. It really took 10 of you. Either I was better than I thought, or the Talman Order trains piss-poor assassins. The last words spoken by Royal Guard Almor Bjorn as he took on 10 assassins sent to finish the failed assassination of Prince Leonard Lucian. Although these are only the last words he spoke aloud for others to hear, his true last words he whispered to himself as he succumbed to his wounds. Those were, "Live on, little prince. Forget you had a guard as terrible as me. I'll be waiting." Marcus Toyota Barnes right before killing himself. Hello, old friend. I win. Orcish, the last consciousness in the multiverse. I really should have left that she-elf to her death. Fairy, whatever the f*** she is. I've never gotten a chance at a loving family. If rebirth is possible, I hope my next life is filled with the love you have for this forsaken world. Mystica Macaria Zulais as she sacrifices herself to save the world. Pity. I wish I had seen the sun once more, even if just for a fleeting moment. You will see the sun before you die, but yes, oh yes, you will die painfully and lonely. I will not. Fionn Mac Taig. I wasn't. I'm sorry. Garin, you're here? You came back for me? I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it home. I tried my best. Don't eat me! Victory! Victory! My name is Modi, and he is Magnus. Guard my babies for me. Keep them safe. I suppose we'll never know who she really loved, eh, brother? Watch the West! Watch it! It used to be the case among many Orcish cultures that a true orc had to die in battle to be granted entry to the great feasting hall in the afterlife. Anyone else would have to fight their way through the demons of the underworld to reach it, and orcs who committed suicide would be forced to dig themselves up from the lowest levels of hell. This presented a problem for an otherwise heroic warrior known as Diag, who was growing old and relatively infirm. He was still one of the greatest warriors in the world, however, and even when he fought the most dangerous creatures he could find, he was unable to be killed. Throwing the battle would also not count. You have to give it your all. When he became sick and feared the disease would take him, he made his way up to the tallest cliff in the area and threw himself from the top. The rest of his tribe looked on with horror, thinking that he was damning himself, until he heard him declare the traditional right of challenge against the ground. He challenged the land itself to combat, and while no one can say he didn't give it his all, he lost. There was considerable debate among the tribal leaders and wise men in the area on whether or not that should really count. Well, in the end, they decided that yes, Diag had died in honorable combat and would be allowed access to paradise. However, this loophole would only work once. To answer the question more directly, his last words roughly translate as, "Pathetic ground, I challenge you!" I'm sure your legal troubles aren't that bad. We at the Wimbox firm can solve any legal trouble. Reads the documents here. Let's carry the 9, the 5. You sacrificed millions of motherfuckers to avoid Beast Reactor? Do you know what the government does to people who kill with Void Beast Reactors? Oh, no, this. You're on your own. Jumps out of a 150-story building to his death. Hey, the stock market crashed again. The following is one conversation that's split between two people. I know they can't hear me now, but I am sorry. I turned my companions into weapons. Actually, no, they were my friends, not just companions. If they could hear me one last time, I'd tell them I'm sorry. You can still make things right. What was your plan? Tell me, and maybe I can put an end to everything. That was my plan. If I could make the universe give a piece of itself to each of my friends when they eventually died, someone else would inherit that piece. After a few cycles of that, either every piece would end up with me or with my enemy, you. Now that I am dying, you'll take the pieces I had. And I'll have every piece of the universe in me. Yes. And what was your plan after that? If I could die with every piece of the universe within me, I'd cleanse that cursed entity from existence. Things would go back to how they used to be before humanity ever found that damned rock. Your plan was to die? My suicide would have made things right. Hey, it's me again. Please call me back. I miss hearing. Never mind. I know you're busy. Just don't forget about me. This is like, what? The 12th time it took death this damn long. Wait, this is how I die? Man, that's some fucking bullshit. He's right behind me, isn't he? Death doesn't feel so cold anymore. I find it quite comforting holding your hand. My God, my king, I've come home. This avatar took a lot of time and energy. Well, you win some, and you lose some. Gwen, the Defender, a literal goddess who can exist in the mortal world with a physical avatar. If the avatar dies, she just returns to the celestial realm and has to wait a few years before she can make a new avatar. Did I remember to turn off the stove? No, and you forgot about the thermostat and the garage. You all go be adults without me. We'll see each other in the next fantasy one day. The character is a teenager. If you kill me, your body will be mine. Proceeds to be left for dead as her vessel explodes in a region of shredded space. May Kree have mercy on my soul. Live without grief, or regret what has been lost. Love the world as much as I did. That will honor me. I will not hear you crying, but I hope the world can hear your love. I'm sorry. I just couldn't be anyone but me. Okay, time to go. The f*** do these Xeno bastards mean? Falling back, we're calling in God? They lost orbital supremacy hours ago! 2 double digits in the air! Fuck you, Murphy. You stupid brat. I gave my life for yours, so you don't die stupidly now. Got that, you moron? I promise. I'll have a permanent residency for you in the afterlife. Elizabeth, the girl who cheated death by having a son with the Grim Reaper. I guess I really wasn't destined for anything after all. Why do I always long for things I cannot have? Whiskey! For medicine! Maybe this is my last hand. Where's the light? My goddess? Has she abandoned me as well? To be killed by one of my own. That is what it feels like. I had always wondered how they all felt. Now I know. If I could tell you how I felt, and be absolutely right, I'd still lose. Learn then. Learn the true evil of this world and its accursed nature. You escaped your prison, but you're still no less a slave than the rest of us. Come on, we're gonna be fine. Lloyd was not fine. I'm so cold. I don't want to be alone. Please don't leave me. Wallahai, I'm finished. My breath is your breath, that I might live on in you. Who cares, man? You're still my brother, that's all. I always knew something was off, but I didn't really mind. You still felt like a brother. Now shut up and let me die without any woes. Fight on, kid. The last words of a mercenary to a young prince before tossing his lantern to said prince, and then being torn to shred by a horde of what are essentially angry ghosts. They were in an area that was inhabited by the souls of all that had died there and, in the general area, kept at bay by naught but their lanterns. They were ambushed, and the prince's lantern got knocked to the ground and snuffed out. The mercenary didn't have enough time to run over and share the lantern's protection and decided that the prince's goals were more important than his life. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course let us know. What were the last words of one of your characters? Tell us the tale so we may revel in their sorrow. Or their joy. We love you all, be safe, be happy. See you next time. Bye for now.